Have you ever noticed how everything feels different at night? You get that feeling of, I can do anything. You start fantasizing about the endless possibilities. Doubts that felt heavy in daylight suddenly seem lighter at night. Almost insignificant. Maybe it's the way the time feels like it slows down. How the world, the people, the noise, the expectations, they pause for a while. And in that stillness, our mind gets off the track to go on an adventure. What's so special about the nights? Night makes us bolder. It gives us the courage to take risks, to finally act on the thoughts that lingered in the background. We feel that no one is watching, no one is judging. Time stretches endlessly. So science can explain some of it. Cortisol, melatonin, shifting brain chemistry. But beyond that, there is something deeper. Night is when the thoughts that are normally reluctant to surface unravel itself. It's when the secrets are whispered, when we truly question the world. You know those 4 a.m. existential crisis philosophy talks on the balcony? In those late hours, I feel more open, like I have everything within my grasp. I basically fantasize about places to go, dreams to chase, and the opportunities waiting. Then morning comes, and with it the doubts return. More distractions, interruptions, and urgencies. The ideas that felt brilliant in the night suddenly seem foolish, unrealistic. The morning brings back the limits that the night had stripped away. Unfortunately, modern life doesn't allow much space for the freedom of the night. It steals the magic of it. We glorify the early mornings, strict routines, wake up at 4 a.m., get a workout in, save the world, get ready for work, and do all of these before 9. And stay busy. No matter what you do, be productive and be busy. And don't let your mind wander. Okay, let's go into how the night shaped the thinkers and the artists. Is there something creatively magical in the night? Throughout the history, great minds have turned to the night for inspiration, reflection, and creative freedom. Nietzsche saw it as a time to break free from societal norms, while Sartre viewed it as a moment of true freedom, unburdened by expectations. Kafka, a longtime night owl, saw the night as a space of transformation where our hidden thoughts emerge. And Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, however you want to say it, who painted The Starry Night, believed that the night was more alive and rich in emotion. Dostoevsky wrote much of his Notes from Underground, Crime and Punishment, during sleepless nights. Okay, you don't really need to be creating masterpiece to feel the mysterious force of the night. But why is it that some of us feel more alive at night, while others thrive in the morning? Your circadian rhythm is your body's internal clock that regulates sleep, wakefulness, and energy levels over a 24-hour cycle. It's influenced by light and darkness, telling you when you feel alert or sleepy. You remember the stress, right? Well, unless you've been living under a rock since 2015, which means you missed a lot. But why am I showing this stress to you? To reminisce about the times where the internet was fun and cool? No, this isn't just internet nostalgia. It actually tells us something fascinating about how our brains work. The way we see the dress depends on how our minds interpret light. Some assume it's in shadow, others in bright daylight. Okay, let me clarify. I was reading this book, The Experience Machine by Andy Clark. There's a little section in here how the dress phenomena actually unraveled something about how we perceive things. A study by Pascal Wallish and his team at NYU, which surveyed 13,000 people, found a strong correlation between perceived lighting conditions and how they saw the dress. But here is where it gets more interesting. The study didn't just examine color perception. It also explored who was seeing the dress in certain ways. Participants were asked whether they identified as early risers or night owls. The results revealed a fascinating twist. Larks, who are the early risers, were far more likely to see the dress as white and gold. Meanwhile, night owls who thrive in the late hours were more prone to seeing it as blue and black. This suggests that our perception of reality, what we assume to be true, is shaped by something as personal as our sleep patterns. The way we process light and color isn't just biological. It's deeply tied to how we live. So this means that if we spend more time during natural light hours, our brain perceives the dress in a natural light setting. Whereas if we spend more time in artificial lighting, then our brain automatically assumes that the dress is lit by lights. So we could go as far to say that our perception, time, creativity, and even reality itself is shaped by whether we are a morning person or a night owl. The Experience Machine by Andy Clark is a very interesting book. I want to tell a little bit more about it. It presents a compelling exploration of how our brains actively construct our perception of reality through predictive processes. Challenging the traditional view of the brain as a passive receiver of sensory information, Clark suggests that our minds are constantly generating predictions about the world, which are then matched against incoming sensory data. This dynamic interplay suggests that our experiences are shaped as much by internal expectations, external stimuli. Okay, after a little fun dive into that, let's get back to our fascination about what happens when the moon is out. The quiet and wise-looking moon seems to pull something from us, something deeper. It's like it lights up the darker corners of our mind. Ancient Greeks saw it as a symbol of the unconscious mind. Celestial, shit. Aristotle and Plato saw it as a celestial force, influencing human behavior. Even in modern psychology, Carl Jung saw the moon as a symbol of the unconscious, representing the hidden parts of ourselves that emerge when the world quiets down. He believed in a distinct night consciousness, a way of thinking and feeling that only emerges after the dark. As we know, before electricity, the biggest invention of humankind. This is why I have a lot of candle lights here. Before that, before everything around us, nighttime was ruled by firelight, moonlight, and imagination. Ancient poets, storytellers, and philosophers gathered under the stars, sharing ideas that shaped civilizations. Studies suggest the brain becomes more creative at night because it's in a more relaxed and less inhibited state. The default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for imagination and deep thinking, is more active when we're tired. As I mentioned, this is why many artists, writers, and inventors did their best work at night. Haruki Murakami, Kafka, and even Einstein were night owls. We do hear a lot of stories about how the greatest inventions that are vital parts of our lives were invented during night. From the psychological aspect, darkness creates a sense of anonymity, making us more willing to explore the ideas and emotions that we suppress during the day. Industrialization and technology has forced society into an early to rise, highly structured routine that devalues nighttime creativity. Ancient societies had siestas, flexible sleep patterns, and nighttime storytelling. At night, our senses sharpen, and we become more aware of sounds, movements, and shadows. Some psychologists believe that walking at night triggers a mild altered state of consciousness, making people more introspective and open to new ideas. The brain processes emotional memories differently at night than during the day. This is why old regrets, nostalgia, or random childhood memories resurface late at night. It's when the brain sorts emotional significance. Some retreat centers offer darkness retreats, where people spend days in total darkness to unlock deep meditative states. Tibetan monks practice dark retreats to enhance lucid dreaming and self-awareness. I really wish I was a morning person. I tried it a lot over the years. Sometimes I could be, depending on my routine. If I really have to wake up early, then I guess I get used to it. But even though I love the feeling of waking up early and having the whole day ahead of me, it just doesn't work. There's maybe something about the night. Maybe it's genetic because my dad also loves staying up at night. Comment down below. Are you a morning person or a night? Let me know. Okay, that was a joke, guys. But yeah, it's a luxury to be able to go to sleep late, of course, because now we have to work 9 to 5. Even though now we have a lot more people having non-traditional jobs. So not having 9 to 5, but I guess being YouTubers, influencers, or business owners. So maybe it's going to shift. So, is there a way we can crack the code? Okay, for me, this is what worked out, but you should have one notebook that you preferably have emotional attachment to, that you take it everywhere, doesn't matter where, even if you're just going to have a quick coffee with your friend, and you keep this with you at all times. So whenever you think there's an idea worth to be captured, even if at the time it feels like it's not going to turn into anything, just note it down. And note it down as much in detail as you can. I think over time everybody comes up with the way that works for them. So this could be also your nighttime journal. The notes that you make at night tend to be more experimental and adventurous. The other thing you can do is to carve out silent hours to mimic the stillness of the night. Maybe you can find a space for yourself that is silent and maybe a little bit dark. There you can be together with your thoughts, get away from distractions, so then you can really tune into the natural flow of your thoughts. Of course, not everybody's experience is the same. Not everybody feels like a superhero at night. Some people feel really bad at night because it's the residue from the whole day itself. This also happens to me sometimes because of all the distractions during the day, all the interruptions. The thoughts couldn't have completed itself. It didn't have a flow, so it constantly got interrupted. Then when at night, finally, there is nothing stopping the thoughts, all the thoughts that we have been suppressing during the day, they come at once. And then it can create some anxiety. Seeing in the dark. This is very interesting. The Ganzfeld effect happens when you stare into uniform darkness, or even just a fog, for a long time. Your brain starts filling in the gaps with hallucinations. It's why people see things in pitch black rooms or feel like shadows move at night. In Ganzfeld experiment, participants were placed in a room with soft, uniform lighting and exposed to white noise. In the Ganzfeld experiment, the participants were placed in a room with soft, uniform lighting and exposed to white noise. Many reported hearing whispers, seeing figures, or feeling a presence. This aligns why the night feels more mysterious, eerie, or even supernatural. What if the night isn't an interlude, but a reminder? A glimpse of who we are. A glimpse of who we are when the world stops watching. The night gives us the ideas, but the day is where we make them real. Maybe the trick isn't fighting who we are at different hours, but learning to let both versions of ourselves exist together. When the sun shines on the balcony. Those are the best. Nothing beats those. I mean... And the sun goes down. Haruki Murakami. Surprise, surprise! I love saying that. Me. Haruki Murakami. Yeah. Haruki Murakami. It makes me so nervous that you're hearing me that I cannot.
Well, no. What if something happens?
They come on like fire.
It's loud enough that I can hear like background, like you talking to your mom.
So that's out of the way, guys. Sartre. Kafka. Testing. Looks like weird, no?
Yeah, put a sticker on
Can you take find it?
You have stickers over there.
Too much sponsorship.
Then turn it around.
It has it on the both sides.
Are you kidding?
No. Winter is gone. Sun is out. And good morning or good night, depending on what time it is where you are. Stay curious. Subscribe. Like. follow, comment.